Ladies and gentlemen, Boker Tov. Those of you who don't know what it means good morning. Boker Tov, and thank you for coming to share Simcha with us. This is going to be a very brief speech because I only wrote it at 5:30 this morning, and because my wife didn't tell me to do it before. But because Noah asked me to say something last night, and I just quickly, literally typed it up this morning. But Noah is very easy to speak about because he's full of chesed and he's full of life. And I just want to firstly say gratitude is the most important thing, I think. And I think gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we're here, that we're in Eretz Yisrael, that for all of us, but us especially, that He's bestowed us, the zchut to be here, and that we got here. And as Rabbi Moti said, we left a lot behind, but we've gained so much in coming here. Shkaya. So, before I talk about Noah, I'm just going to thank a few people. Obviously, Rabbi Moti and Rabbi Esti for coming out here and speaking so beautifully about us. But not only that, just for knowing them for the last 10 years. The baby there, Chana, is their 7th child. So I know all their children and a mazel tov to Rabbi Moti, whose son Menachem is just getting engaged. So mazel tov to Rabbi Moti. Mazel tov! They built an amazing, warm community with the help of Ian Miller and Sarah Miller, who's sitting next to them. An amazing community of 400 families that we got involved with 5-6 years ago, 10 years ago. And because of that, I think that's why we're here. We're doing mitzvot. I'm wearing tzitzit, I'm wearing a kippah in Israel because of what we discovered in Dover Heights. So thanks, Rabbi and Robertson. You would understand how difficult it was to leave Australia. We had everything going there. We had good schools, we had a great house, we had a great community, and it's not a fully rational decision to make Aliyah. But we made it, and we're very happy that we made it. And had we thought about it, we probably wouldn't have made it. But we're glad we're here, and we want to thank everyone in Renana for being our family. We've left a family, and we've come to the family of Renana. And everyone who's here is really family to us because we don't have any other family. So it's Renana that's been a very special place. It's Renana that we saw first, thanks to Ian Davidson. Where is he? There he is. Took me to 3 kiddushes. I felt like I do now, similar. And we love Renana, and we thank you for being such a warm community, such an inviting community. I want to thank Eve's parents, Brandon and Rose, for coming all the way, and Eve's sister Kelly and her husband Michael and the kids. It's not easy to travel with the little kids, Alalila. And Don and Bessie for coming from America, and to Ian and Sarah Miller for all the way from Jerusalem. And actually, Ian and Sarah Miller were instrumental in us making Aliyah. They sat us down in Dover Heights, North Bondi, about 2.5 years ago now. They said to us, seriously, we should really think seriously about making Aliyah. And we did. And we have them to thank, one of the people to thank for making Aliyah. Thanks, Ian and Sarah. To my Israeli cousins, probably the only people, where's Liat? And Julie, where are you? Can't see you. Liat and Julie? Don't know. Maybe they've left. I don't know. Probably. Okay. Anyway, they're the only people who I think they've left. The only people who knew my parents and my Baba, and I just wanted to speak briefly about my family history of being in Israel. My Baba was here in the 20s, clearing the swamps of malaria and the fields of stones, and she was a big Zionist. She was here for 9 years, and her firstborn, my uncle Eric, was born here. And we follow in her footsteps. We all we all stand on the shoulders of giants, and the giants that we have are our generations, our Dorot before us. My Baba was connected to Israel, loved Israel, and she instilled in my mother the love for Israel. Then came my parents, who made Aliyah in 1959 to 1963. They lived in Haifa, and they struggled financially, and eventually they left, unfortunately, much to the disappointment of my father, who loved Israel, always spoke Hebrew, Chovev Tzion, he called himself. So Noah is effectively the 4th generation Aliyah, and we hope that this one actually sticks, because from my perspective, we had to stay, and I hope from Noah's as well, and he'll do the tzavah, and he'll be involved in Israel, and hopefully this is it. And in Shamayim, the zechut that we have from my Boba and my parents is that we're here, and finally the family Aliyah has been completed, and Noah's going to complete it. So Shkach and Ethan and Cece as well. I've said that already. Okay. So about Noah, I'll just tell you a little bit about Noah. Noah is easy to talk about, as I said. He's full of chesed and kindness. And just one of the things we remember about Noah is when Cece was born, or before she was born, she was still in Mummy's tummy, Noah decided to redecorate her room. He took crayons and he painted the wall, and it was a huge mess. And we were tenants at the time, we had to clean it up. But the idea was that he was looking after his sister who hadn't yet come. Remember, he painted your room. He's full of chesed, Noah. He's full of natural talent. Whatever he tries, he's very good at. He's always in the top academic class. He's always in the top sports team. Where's Uri? He plays jiu-jitsu with Uri. He's never lost a fight. He's just simply good at everything he tries. That's Noah. And with great talent comes great responsibility. Noah is blessed with great talent, and therefore he must have the responsibility. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Okay. And one of his yoets actually said, that when we met at his school, what you don't understand about a young boy who's 10 or 11 who's made Aliyah is mashu gadol, the yoet said to us. It's something you as an adult, we can't really comprehend what it is to be a 10 or 11-year-old who's made Aliyah, who doesn't understand the language, who has to learn a new language. And it's really something unbelievable, like that within 2 years, he's writing exams in Hebrew, he's speaking Hebrew. It's really mashu gadol, and he's absolutely correct. And as a parent, you don't see it, you think you've made the sacrifice. But in fact, the kids have made the sacrifice for the Aliyah. We're very proud of you, Noe. You've adapted and coped, and you've made so many great new friends. We love you, Noe, and we wish you a future filled with nachat and blessings and a long life in this land of unceasing miracles, the land where we have it's a supernatural playing field. This isn't a normal country, as I'm sure any of you who've arrived here on Aliyah know. It's a supernatural playing field. Our kids have the most unbelievable opportunities, and you too know. So just a little Divine Torah that I read quickly this morning at 5:30. It says, "Ki titzeh lemilchama al oyavecha." So it says, when you go to war, on top of your enemies, effectively, on top. So what does it mean on top? Like, what does it say against, neged, or it doesn't use the word, it says al, It's on top of your enemies. The idea is that, sorry, you finished, huh? Okay, no, it's not that. Okay, good point. So what does it mean on top? It should say against, but it doesn't say against. It says over and above. And this choice of wording is fundamental. And what it means is to be above your enemies, to be above morally and spiritually and physically above your enemy. We're not on the same level as our enemies, and we behave differently to our enemies. We have to be above them. But it's also true as pnimot, as with internally. The struggle, the milchama, kitzitzet le milchama, is that you have your own internal war. And that you have to overcome, you have to be above your own yetzer hara, your own misgivings, your own weaknesses. And that's what it means to be al ovecha, against your enemy, not only physically, but spiritually and mentally within. So we can appreciate the importance of being above your enemy. And for Noah, how that translates to Noah, I think, is that he's got so much chesed, and he's got so much potential and so much ability and so many blessings from Hashem that I think he always has to stay above. He always has to stay that one step ahead and use his natural abilities and his natural talents, but not only that, work on them and become the chesed, the mensch that he already is, but even more, and contribute to Eretz Yisrael the way your Boba, your father and my father and my mother and me and Mom would be so proud of you. Shkach, no, you did so well, Shkach boy. Sorry, I'd like to introduce my wife to speak a few words. Her name is Eve.
So I actually was meant to speak, not very. So We have to sit through another speech, I apologize. Welcome, friends and family. When I first started researching Noah's Parsha, I battled to find a link or meaningful connection to speak about. But being the enthusiastic Torah scholar that I am, I persisted until I found one, and amazingly, I found two. Noah is derived from the Hebrew name Noach, meaning rest or comfort. As most of you know, Noah is hardly restful and is usually quite hyper and full of energy. However, concerning the second word, comfort, that describes him really well. In our family, whenever there is conflict, and I won't lie to you, it happens quite often, or someone is not feeling well or hurts themselves, it is always Noah who is the one to come in and calm everyone down. This started at a very early age. When I was pregnant with Sienna, I had really bad nausea, and the only thing that really helped was to eat dry crackers. One morning, I was feeling particularly bad. With my head bent over the toilet bowl, I heard the pitter-patter of little 3-year-old feet. I looked up, and there was Noah, in his Sesame Street orange pajamas, carrying a bag of corn crackers that he had found in the kitchen downstairs and had brought up to me on his own accord. When I'm stressed out, it is Noah that comes down with his phone and puts on his relaxation music to make me calm down. On Shabbat, after we read Kitzetzeh, we will recite the Haftarah of Isaiah 54. In 10 verses, the Haftarah focuses our attention on one aspect, the comfort of Jerusalem. The Haftarah has a double theme. First, that when Mashiach comes, things will be so good that we will forget the hardships of the exile. Second, that the redemption will be final, never to be followed by another exile. It says, like the words of Noah, like the waters of Noah, this is to me. Just as I swore to never again cover the earth with the waters of Noah, so I have sworn not to be wrathful with you and not to rebuke you. Because the word Noach is like the word nachat, satisfaction, indicating that it is positive because it changed the world for good. The same is true about this exile. When Mashiach comes, we will see how everything we went through in the exile directly made the world ready for Mashiach. The reading concludes that when Mashiach comes, my kindness will never depart from you, and my covenant of peace will never falter. So that is the first link to the Parsha. The other has to do with birds. Recently, my bathroom window has become the prenatal ward for a pretty little bird we think is a dove, although I have no idea what bird it is. She has made a nest for herself and has laid eggs twice this summer and produced 4 very cute babies. We all watch from the first stages of her building her nest until sitting on the eggs to the hatching and then her feeding her little fluffy chicks. And then finally they flew off on their own. This cycle has happened twice. One Shabbat, she left her chicks to go get food and we were watching them from the window. Suddenly, we saw a magpie in a distant tree eyeing the chicks. Noah was worried about the safety of the chicks and he made it his mission for most of the afternoon to sit and watch over the chicks from the window ledge next to them. He got out a little stool and sat there for hours until the mum came back. In the Parsha, we are told that we must shoo away the mother bird before taking her young. This sounds cruel, but it shows that we must treat animals as if they have feelings, and if we are kind in this way, Hashem will give us a long life. Besides Noah and Sienna, our family aren't the biggest animal lovers, but this little bird reminded me of us. New Olim trying to build a new nest in a new and uncertain environment. The dove is also from the story of Noah. It was a sign of Hashem's forgiveness, a new start for the earth and its inhabitants, and also a symbol of peace and redemption. To all our friends from Ranana, you have been a Noach to us, looking after us, helping us, making us feel comfortable and welcome, including us so warmly in this amazing community. To my family, thank you for always being at the end of the WhatsApp line, cheering us on with encouragement and understanding. Thank you for coming so far to celebrate with us. I loved this past Shabbat. Spending time with you, it was like old times, really, really special. To our son and brother Noah, you are and always will be a comfort to us. Your kindness is a reminder to all of us that even though the world can be a wild and chaotic place, there is good and hope, that Hashem is looking after us and His kindness will not depart from this world. Noah, we wish that you continue on your path to manhood as you have done so far. We will, please God, be there to help you become ready to fly from the nest. We will always be there to help you build your own nest. Noah, we wish you all of Hashem's richest blessings. We all love you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone's invited to the dance floor. Mazal tov! Let's go, let's go!
Yom Mekilim Ohi Yom Nazman Nazman Shech Yom Mekilim Ohi Yom Nazman Nazman Shech Yom Mekilim Ohi Yom Nazman Nazman Shech Yom Mekilim Ohi Yom Nazman Nazman יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי. יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, ליבנו בסוירוסוי. יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי. יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, ליבנו בסוירוסוי. מיוסי וליבנו, אהבסי ויהרוסוי. Libenu b'soy Yosei v'libenu Ahavasei v'yirosoy Libenu b'soy Yiftach libenu b'soy בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי. יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, ליבנו בסוירוסוי.
יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי, בסוירוסוי. יפתח ליבנו בסוירוסוי, ליבנו בסוירוסוי. יחד, 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 יחד.
נציג
קדושה כולם, קדושה. לך ישר לחישו כולם קדושה לך ישר לאישור כולם קדושה לך ישר לאישור כולם קדושה לך ישר לאישור
טוב, מעגלים, מעגלים, כל החברים, כוח!
לכל זמן, לכל זמן ועת, לכל זמן, לכל זמן ועת, עת לאהוב, לשנוא את מלחמה, ועת שלום. לכל זמן, לכל זמן ועת, לכל זמן, לכל זמן ועת, עת לאהוב, לשנוא את מלחמה, ועת שלום. אבל הלילה הזה, אבל הלילה הזה, כולנו בשמחה, לנו הלילה, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, כולנו בשמחה, לנו הלילה, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, עוד ועוד, כולנו בשמחה, כולנו בשמחה, לנו הלילה, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, כולנו בשמחה, לנו הלילה, את ריקוד, את ריקוד, עוד ועוד. ליבי ליבי ובשרי, אוי ירננו לקהל חי, ליבי ליבי ובשרי, ירננו לקהל חי. היי תמה 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 לך נפשי, כמה 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 לך בשרי, היי תמה 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 לך נפשי, כמה 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 אוי כמה לך בשרי, דידוי דוי דוי דידודו דידודו דוי דידודו.
השם יפתחו. ברוך הגבר אשר יפתח בשם, והשם יפתחו. השם אלוקים, והגדלנו בתורה.
jump. Hey. Let's see you guys, come on. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Noah's speech, but before he speaks, I just wanted to thank Eve, my lovely wife. Hello, Eve, for arranging this, for getting it all together, for being patient with, no doubt you've noticed, the slightly maniacal husband. So thank you for being patient and for raising our children and for agreeing in the decision and being on the same page as us to come to Israel. Kol hakavod. And now I'd like to introduce the man of the moment. Let's get ready to rumble.
Good morning, honored rabbis, family, and friends. In describing Parshat Ki Tetzeh, Rabbi Lebtag in Torah Mitzion said, mitzvot, more mitzvot, and all kinds of mitzvot. In this week's Parsha, Moshe's life and the book of Dvarim are coming closer to their conclusion. Much time has been spent on a point-by-point review of the Torah's mitzvot. In my Parsha, Parshat Ki Tetzeh, there are a great variety of mitzvot mentioned. In fact, Rabbi Hatin in his book Passages state there is no other Parsha in the Torah that mentions more mitzvot. Some of the mitzvot are mentioned elsewhere, and some are introduced here for the first time. They make an unusual collection, with no less than 72 mitzvot. It talks of slaves, marriage, divorce, war, and other such seemingly random topics. So how am I, as a 13-year-old bar mitzvah boy, meant to relate to all of this? The mitzvah I found most interesting in the Parsha was Hashavat Abidah, returning lost goods. If one finds something that someone has lost, it is a mitzvah to try return it to its owner. The Torah uses the word ve'la'amta, which means that we must not turn a blind eye. Rashi explains that the Torah is not referring to the object, but is talking to us. Anything that we see that is returnable, we are obliged to make every effort to return it to its owner. For example, if one is to find a 100 shekel note on the pavement, one could keep it since it has no markings or personal identification. But if someone found a wallet, that person would have to try to find the owner any way possible. You've all probably heard stories of people going to great lengths to get things back to their owner. Like for instance, a member of my family, whose name starts with E, lost her Teudat Zehut in a grocery store. And for a whole year, the teller that worked there kept it for her, and when she came back, he ran up to her and gave it to her. My mum was so happy and relieved, and that helps us understand how important this mitzvah is. Although gratitude is not one of the mitzvot discussed in my parsha, I know it is an important Jewish value. We begin each day with the words Modeh-Ani, thank you. There are many people here I'd like to thank. Mum, Dad, Ethan, and Cece, I love you all so much. We are a special family, but we have our normal moments. Mum, thank you for organizing my life and always being there for me. You cook for me and keep me healthy, and all this while looking good. Dad, thank you for caring for me, and despite your tough love, you're an amazing dad and I always love you. Ethan. I look forward to being a real teenager and understanding you better. I hope as we get older, we will become closer. Cece, the dancing, singing princess of the family. I hope in the future you can learn to share the TV. Even though we battle, you're a great sister and I love you. To the people who traveled from far to share in my special day, thank you so much. Our simcha is more special for having you here. Papu, thank you for leaving Annette at this hard time. We know she also wanted to be here and we wish her refuah shlema. You're a wonderful grandpa and I love the time I get to spend with you. Granny Rose, Kel, Michael, Leela, and Nate. My simcha would not have been complete without you. Thank you also to Bessie and Don, my mom's uncle and aunt, for coming from America to celebrate with us. And to Rabbi Moti and Esti for leaving your family and community in Dover Heights to be here with us. I have great memories of the fun time that I had at Dover Heights, sure. We are so grateful that you could come. Lastly, thank you to Carvin Schrock for helping me with my Torah.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, the darkness inside you can make it feel so small. Show me a smile then, don't be unhappy. Can remember when I last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can bear. Just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through, and I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Oh, like a rainbow. Show me a smile then, don't be unhappy. Can remember when and I saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through, and I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, and I see your true colors shining through, and I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Oh, like a rainbow.
השיר הזה מוקדש לחברים של נועה, אתם מכירים את זה, שימו לב. Come close. Tiny bit back so everyone can see. Make some noise. some noise for now! 3, 2, 1, jump! Let's go! Section in! Section in! Section in! One more time! Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, jump! Yep. Let's go! 3, 2, 1, jump!
First day, but you and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up your bag and I fill up the plate. We talk for hours and hours about the sweet and the sour and how your family's doing okay. And even getting a taxi, kissing the backseat, tell the driver make the radio play. And I'm singing like, do you know I want your love? Love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. Maybe crazy, but my knees say, boy, let's not talk too much. I got my wrist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. But what my heart is falling to, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. 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 Every day discovering something brand new.
This situation in the heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you never
Wanna see all the boys going to couples?
Baby, take it slow. Quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído. Para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito. Quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo las paredes de tu laberinto. Y hacer en tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Sube, sube, sube. Quiero ver bailar tu pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza. Oye, despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te pierdas si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer en tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero hacer tu ritmo, que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito.
It's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be.
Well, now you shake it to the left, you shake it to the right. You do the hippie shake shake with all of your might, oh baby. Yeah, come on, shake. Harder than the band. Ooh, the hippie shake. Ooh, the hippie shake. Ooh, the hippie shake.
I'm gonna be the man who goes along
with you. Hey, guys.
Well, I know I'm
gonna be the man who walks right next to you. Hey, if I had a on me, I'm gonna be the man who walks right next to you. I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles. Yeah.
Yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And I'm
I'm gonna be
the man who's growing older than you.
I would walk 500 miles.
I would walk
500 more.
just to be
A man walks 1,000 miles there. Yeah.
And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be
Be the man. I would walk 500 miles. I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles. La la la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la.
Thank you so much.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Yes, I'm a good time. I don't want to stop at all.
Thank you so much. Mazal tov Noah. What an amazing song.
يا قل يسوع بيمر ومن يروس أدناي كديشاف كيان مخسر للريام كريم رشوف الأوي وبديش أدناي لا يخسر خلتاي هيدا لدناي كي تايب كذا أيلام خزداي بسيا خسيا دخا ومسبيا لكل خيرات ساين بارخ هجبر أجيب دخ بدين هيا أدناي ببتاخي هي تاي لا 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 Hey, ta la 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 ta la 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 ta la 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 ta la 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 hey ta seva vaqasim tayba shana tayba umsukak seva vaqasim tayba la shana tayba mazaleta
סלאם עלינו ועל כל העולם סלאם סלאם יבוא שלום עלינו עוד יבוא שלום עלינו יבוא שלום עלינו
Let's hear you guys from Australia. Come on.
עוד יבוא שלום עלינו עוד יבוא שלום עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם